Okay, now, you just talked to the minister, Roland Haché.
Yes.
And what do you think?
I like Roland Haché.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps,
they're all nice guys.
Perhaps because I think he has an understanding of the spiritual connection that the beauty of the St. Andrews Peninsula, and in particular Simpson Hill, has for not only the residents but all the people that come to visit it. And despite the logic that says it's far better in the long term to keep our rural character and preserve our aesthetic beauty, right now the hearts of the people are starting to make themselves known to certainly Minister Haché.
What's the population in that area where the quarry is?
Bayside only has a few hundred people along that whole area.
And they've been there for generations?
Oh gosh, yes. Some of the families go back at least 4 generations.
Do they know that if they expand the quarry, it could destroy their lifestyle?
Oh, certainly they do. Most of them do. But these people are not outspoken people. They are people, the salt of the earth. They are good people, and they'll give you their shirts off their backs, but they're not going to speak out in public and get ranting and raving. How
long have you been in that area?
I moved to St. Andrews in 1964, and I had property. I bought the property in Bayside in 1970.
So you know what I'm talking about. So if I tell you what I could tell you how to solve this problem immediately. What you need to do is you need to get about 30 guys from Back Bay.
Well, that may... You
don't fool around with people from Back Bay.
Well, that's probably very true. Yeah.
So that you have to go to the extreme. I told you this is going to be a different interview. That's what you need. People from Back Bay.
Well, they called me for my help, and I'm probably going to do the same thing to them. Bottom
line, is there somebody more powerful, bureaucrats, people with money, that tells the minister, listen, this is what you're going to do?
Well, the hill that Jamer Materials has acquired and now wants to quarry on the east side of 127 constitutes 100 million tons of granite. At $10 a ton, that's worth $1 billion.
Whoa!
That's only their hill number 2. Their hill number 1 is the north side of Simpson Hill, and then of course there's all of Simpson Hill, and behind that there's Wiley's Mountain, each of which probably have maybe 300 or 400 million tons. That's another $3 or $4 billion. So you're talking about $5 billion worth of granite right in that area around the Port of Bayside. Now you ask me if there's any other influence that might be affecting the government decision. Well, money.
A lot of money.
Money talks.
How many employees working there?
At the quarry, there's, Jamer says there's about 38 people and a few permanent jobs. 38 seasonal workers.
So you really don't want to change the area from Bayside to St. Andrew to St. George and all that area to industrial mining and quarries and...
Well, the thing is, if the Port of Bayside was developed as was planned back in 1997-98, we'd have 90 acres of new sites for new businesses. We had 180 odd ships a month or so back in before the quarry arrived. It was just phenomenal, the business that was going on there. And when the quarry arrived, the quarry ships pretty well took over. Jamer Materials got controlling interest of the Port of Bayside. And it's obviously fairly dominated by Jamer Materials, and even though they say the business has expanded, that's in tonnage. Well, obviously there's more tons of rock being shipped out than there were tons of fish and potatoes. But in terms of the number of employees, the number of stevedore unions and all the rest of it, it's obvious to most of us that it's gone downhill.
Last question, how many people in your group?
In the Bayside Preservation Committee?
Yeah.
There's about 30 or 40 of us.
Okay, good for you, and I wish you the very best of luck, and thank you for the interview.